when it really, if I could just bring your awareness into understanding everything that we're doing and what I'm teaching you and empowering you, okay? Let me break this down. The body is continuously communicating to your awareness, your conscious awareness. Your body is communicating to you. How well do you understand the language of yourself? As humans, force is the language and movement is what we speak. Okay, that is a direct quote from Dr. Spina, the Functional Brain Systems. And it makes that's highly intelligent because it makes a lot of sense. Our body's continuously communicating to us. And in this day and age, what we have been indirectly or directly misguided, misled, misunderstood with this whole concept of pain. We don't understand pain, commonly, for the mere reason that we aren't being taught how to understand the language in which our body is speaking. So let's bring you into a better understanding. First and foremost, the live through movement. What is it that we're doing? Live through movement lifestyle. What is it that I'm trying to teach you? Teaching you, empowering you with skills and tools. That's what the live through movement lifestyle is. It's a set of skills and tools that you practice habitually to understand and communicate better to your body. So the skills are listen, identify, and repair. And we separate these by understanding these three, by understanding the tools. And this creates a foundation, these skills and these tools. So the tool of cars, controlled articular rotations, okay? Constantly teaching you how to do cars. Why? Because this is the best way to understand the very joint of your body independently. Cars are not exercises. It's a thought process in which it is a tool to help you listen deeply to your joints and help you identify the very specifics of how well they move or how not so well they move. So then therefore, after you identifying, then you can repair where that limitation or restriction is happening. Okay, and you do that with Pell's rails. Progressive, regressive, angular, isometric lows. Okay, so essentially, the skills that you will be doing on a daily basis, that live through movement lifestyle, is listening through movement, identifying through movement. What am I listening to? I'm listening to the language of my body. How well does my body move? Very independently in that joint that I'm listening to by doing cars. Identifying the very specific. Maybe the shoulder is shitty right here and I can't internally rotate freely without compensating in the shoulder blade. So I've now identified the very specific of where that maybe the pain was guiding me. So then I start to listen deeper with movement of cars and finding that very specific limitation where I'm compensating. It's no coincidence. The pain is there to guide you. So then now I've identified that. Now I can do Pell's rails to improve that limitation or that restriction. Okay, so that's the repair. You use Pell's rails. Now, let's break it down into understanding what the body is actually doing and how it's doing that by understanding mechanoreceptors. Literally, the fellow who coined this literally named them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 is pain. Mechanoreceptor number 4 is pain. 3 lives in ligament in the body. I'm gonna leave 2 for last. 1 lives in the superficial stuff like the skin, muscle. So I'm gonna put here, skin, muscles. 2, it's not that it's more important, it's just an understanding. They all need each other, but what are we doing when we're using cars and Pell's rails? We're talking to all that stuff, but more specifically, we're trying to get to the deepest stuff. That is where mechanoreceptor number 2 lives. Capsule. And capsule is, like I said, the deepest tissue, that's an E, to the joint. And this is critical, because what the fuck is a joint, right? A joint is 2 or more bones. And this is empowering because when I understand the deepest stuff to my body, when it comes to our structure, is that the joint is the deepest thing, which and therefore the capsule tissue is like a hybrid tissue. It's not ligament, it's not tendon, it's just this different style of tissue in which we're the capsule, we call it, and then mechanoreceptor lives there. And why is this more, why am I harping on this? Because the moment that there's movement, mechanoreceptor relays that information. Number 2 doesn't wait in line. These other ones do. Goes right to the brain. No waiting in line. VIP fucking special. Right to the brain. Poor drawing. That's supposed to be the brain. Bear with me. And in there's the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex is what is in control of our movement, our hearing, and our vision. Makes sense. You ever try to stand on one leg with your eyes closed? It impairs your movement. Cover up one ear, it impairs your movement. So these things work together. But more importantly, on the topic, mechanoreceptor number 2 relays this lightning fast speed of movement to the brain. This is why the body can't lie. It cannot lie. It will not lie. And the more you try to make it, you'll end up with more pain or some type of injury. This is empowering. So what are we doing when we use cars? We are directly listening. We're listening to the truth. When we do cars, I'm listening to that capsule, the deepest stuff to my joint. Tell me the truth. It's telling me where I do and don't have good movement. This is why we always do and start with cars, because it gives you the truth of your behavior, of how your body is moving independently in each joint. Independence must come before interdependence. If my elbow and shoulder want to work good together, they must work good individually first. And even then, in and of itself, it has parts, right? Because 2 or more bones make a joint. So therefore, ergo, the deepest stuff to my shoulder is the capsule tissue. So I must get this joint to work optimally if I want good movement altogether. So when we do cars, we listen to the truth of that behavior. I find where that limitation or that restriction is, and then I use Pale's rails to talk to that capsule still by generating forces, because force is the language, right? So therefore, I'm literally changing the capsule's behavior. If that's restriction right here, I'm doing Pale's rails to improve that tissue, very specifically, to improve that behavior, giving me better behavior in that capsule. And yes, the ligaments and the skin and the muscles and all that works together as well. And that's how we start to improve the quality of our function. Now, where does pain come into play? That whole capacity thing. If I generate too much force, I get that high level sensation, that discomforting sensation. We're gonna describe pain as fuck you, don't pass go, don't collect that $200. Okay? That's pain. All right? Unless something externally has impeded into your body, this is when you have this chronic discomfort, it's because your body is not able to load adequately. So therefore, the mechanoreceptor number 4 has to get your awareness to let you know that there is a problem. Pain is not the problem. It's letting you know that there is a problem, and we must learn how to listen better, identify the specifics of what pain's trying to guide you to, so then you can repair adequately and change this behavior of your body so that you can take on load again, because load is another construct of force. Force is what our body speaks. It's the language. Okay? So, that being said, capacity is very alive. It's not set in stone. This is why we start with cars slowly to see what I can do, and we generate loads adequately and slowly to identify the very specifics of how much I can and cannot take on. And this is the detailed work that creates the foundation for you to not only just understand your body better, but to literally change the behavior of your body, truly doing real mobility work, which is strength training in and of itself, so that you can take better control of your body and go do the things you want to do. Because as much as we all want to just be able to go and do it, well, you have to breathe air, you have to wash your ass, you must eat nutrition. These are things you must. And yes, this is a must. Cars and Pels Rails is a must if you want to own your body so you can go do the things you want to do. And that, my friend, is livelihood. So that is what I brought to you now.